Hello everybody, my name is Demian Solis. I am an autodidact painter and writer from Mexico. And today I have another tutorial on how to make a Magic the Gathering altar from zero. And today we're going to do Beanstalk Giant. I have another previous video, but in this case I will show you also how to make the altar from zero, but I just wanted you to see something a little bit different. Okay, now the other video took about 2 hours. I hope this will be a bit shorter, but it will be long as well, so please take your time. Now if you have any doubt on regards anything on how to do the card, please let me know so I can make a video with the content that you need. Okay, remember, if you have any doubt, any comment, please put them in the comment section below. My social media is in the description section below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so I can reach more people, and then I'll be able to make more content for you. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye. Welcome everybody to the Beanstalk Giant tutorial. Okay, I previously prepared some gray paint that I'll be using for the base layer. The paint that I'll be using, Schminke, and Polytech. I will be using half and half, so I can get the consistency that I want. For brushes, I would be using number 0 and number 2. Number 2. Okay, I will apply some water to this so I get the consistency that I want. I will be applying 2 layers of gray and then a third one of white. Now, why white? The third layer will help us in order to work with these colors. Blue, white, and green are colors hard to work if you don't have a proper base layer. I will apply the first layer, then let it dry, then the second layer and let it dry, and finally the third layer with the white color, let it dry, and come back in order to show you the applying of the colors. This is a bit different than the first tutorial I made. And it will be different because of the colors. Okay, this is the first layer. I will let it dry and then come back. Okay, let's continue with the second layer. Have you watched The Mandalorian? It's freaking amazing. I mean, like Dave Filoni, I think he's the man in charge of bringing back Star Wars. With this second layer will be good enough. In the moment we will be applying the third and final layer, that would be white. Remember, so we can work with these clear colors. Whenever you work with clear colors like white, green, yellow, orange, red, you will need to apply a white base layer, or at least that's what I would recommend, because it would make your work easier. Otherwise, you would have much problems. I mean, you can do it, but you will need to apply more layers, and that would thicken your paint. And you don't want that. You want it to be as thin as possible. Okay, I think this is good enough. I'm going to let it dry, then come back. Okay. Okay, now we will continue with the last layer. Like I was telling you, would be white, so we can properly work those colors, blue and green. This layer doesn't have to be perfect. It's just that you only have to place some white paint all around, so the green doesn't cause you any trouble. Okay, this is good enough. I will let it dry, then come back. Okay, now it is dry, and we have our base ready. Now the colors I would be using are 3 tones of green. I will be using sand, a dark tone of brown, black, and a white. Also a couple tones of blue for the sky. Now let's begin. I think that I will draw just a little bit so I know where to put my paint. Yeah, that's it. Let's work the sky first. This color seems to me sort of greenish, so I think that I would put some green on my paint. Now, whenever you want to look for a specific color, it's try. You will have to mix the colors to do it, and with time it would be much easier to get the colors that you actually want. Okay, I think this is the color that I would be using. First I have to apply a little bit so I can see, okay, it's way darker than I wanted it. So I will retrieve the paint that I just applied. I'm putting a little bit of this, a little bit more of this kind of greenish blue. Let's see if that's the color. Okay, that's way better. That's what I'm going to be working with. We're going to paint the whole of the sky with this. And then we will paint the clouds. Okay, this is going pretty good. Lately I have been playing a little bit of Death Stranding and Jedi Fallen Order. Both of them are freaking amazing games. They're pretty cool. And actually both of them are extremely different games. One is pure action and some puzzles. In this case that's Jedi Fallen Order. And on regards of Death Stranding, it's actually some sort of a RPG, I would call it. And besides, Death Stranding is kind of a very peaceful game. I mean, if you want a lot of action in your game, Death Stranding is not for you. Okay, this is good enough. Now I will paint the base for the green. I'm not pretty sure. We'll see. I just mixed a little bit of my 3 tones of green, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, this is good enough. This is only the base. In a moment we will be applying the rest of the colors, the rest of the tones. I mean, like, even when this seems something pretty easy to do, there are lots of tones in here. when I was telling you that white will help in order to work with these colors, it is actually truth, because otherwise we would have needed to apply many more layers of color so we can even get this. As you can see, I only applied one, and we are almost done with this tone, with this part of the sky. In a moment I will apply a second layer to this, and then I will let it dry so we can paint the clouds. Okay, just a moment. Okay, it is dry now, and I just wanted to show you some of the things that we will be doing in next videos. These tournament grounds, we would be doing it for the Spanish version of the tutorial. This will also be for the Spanish version of the tutorial. What I would be doing, I think, it would be a couple of Jedi sabers, Jedi swords. Sorry, it's just that I forgot what I was about to say. What I would be doing in here is to put both hands of Luke Skywalker holding his lightsaber and Anakin's lightsaber, so we can get the effect of the green and blue color in here. And finally, this is for the English version. This is going to be a full art altar. I will cover all of this, and I would be doing some sort of space background all over here. Yeah, I actually have done these another couple times, and it looks extremely beautiful. I will also make the wings way bigger, because I don't actually like this kind of short wings, these small wings. In the case of these two altars, it's pretty possible that I will show you the beginning of the painting. I mean, like when I applied the layers and maybe the drawing of these cards, but on regards of the painting, I will show you only speed paint, because it's possible that this will take very many hours, so I don't want you to be watching to a 6 hours long video. Okay, let's continue. Okay, I will apply the second layer for the sky. Yeah, this would be good enough. And in a moment we would be painting the clouds. Painting clouds and water, it's a pretty difficult thing. I mean, you can do some basic painting on this, but if you want it to really look good, it's going to be kind of complicated. I mean, like, you will need to practice a lot. Okay, I like it. And let's continue with the grass in here. I would prepare some green, I suppose. darker tone that I have here and grab some black, mix it together, and we would be working with that in a moment. A little bit of this green. Okay, still dark, too dark. Let's put some more green to this mixture, and okay, that's good enough. Now we have to apply it all over here. You have to grab a lot of mixture of your painting so you can get the colors, the tones that you want. Okay, I think I need a lot more so it works. Okay, yeah, it's working. Good enough, okay. Then you will need to kind of imagine where to put the shadows, the colors that you need. Once we have finished the sky part, I would paint of this kind of energy, mana flowing from him. And as we are getting closer to the front part, I would be painting a few strokes that would be the grass. Just give me a moment so it can dry. I think I would leave it like this for a moment, and let's get to the sky. For the sky, I think that we would be using a mixture of sand color, this bluish, and maybe a little bit of green. We have to paint inside the part that we have not touched previously, because we want this to have some sort of fused effect, because otherwise your painting would look like two different things. Two parts of something that is not one painting. Okay, you have to imagine where the clouds are going to be.
remember, don't be afraid to put some painting inside of parts that you don't want to paint, because we will retrieve it in a moment. Just make sure not to put too much. I'm sorry for not having any kind of cool or famous songs on the background, but if I put them, I would have very big problems with the copyright. All of what you are listening to is only royalty-free music. What are the video games that you are expecting the most for next year? What I would like to play is Cyberpunk. That game looks freaking sick. I think it's possible it will be the best game of next year. Remember, I am working on getting some equipment that will help me in order to make better content for you. But the thing is that in my country, that kind of equipment is kind of very expensive. So I'm just working on it. Okay. Yes, it will take a bit of time. I'm also not putting up as much content as I would like to do because I'm practicing on editing videos. I'm working with my computer, with my telephone, and with my PS4. Please remember, if you have any doubt about the process of what I'm doing here, please let me know so I can make a video about that, a specific topic. Like I hope that this will help somebody. Like I know sometimes it's kind of hard to be able to pay art classes. Like I have mentioned before, I am autodidact, so everything that I'm showing to you is only my personal experience. I am very sorry if I'm not able to give you better advice, but I'll try to do my best just in order to show you what I'm doing here. As you can see, you don't have to be afraid of mixing the colors. You would only need some practice in order to do it properly. He's doing pretty good. I'm just applying a little bit of color in the sky. A little bit of that sand color with green that I'm working with. Actually, I put a lot of water on part of this paint, so it can give me this effect that I want. That's looking pretty cool. Okay, I think the ground part is dry already, so I will keep working on it. Okay. I'm just preparing some paint that I would need to work in here. Also a little bit of brown. Let's see how it goes. This looks pretty good. Just like I was telling you, you have to use your imagination. Have to use many colors as you want. This would only be for the base of our grass. Let's put some paint just like this. Maybe a little bit of black here and there. Like this. I know it seems a little bit too much, but believe me, this is good enough. Okay, this is going pretty good. I will let it dry just a little bit so we can continue and paint the grass on the lower part. In the meantime, we will continue with the sky part, with the clouds. We'll give them just a few final touches. So it looks good. I'm sorry, it's just that my white is kind of getting a little bit dry. Okay. Let's place some white here and there. Maybe that's it. Some sand. Some of our greenish. You have to get this part a little bit wet so we can have the effect that we want. I'll be using a little bit of blue and green so we can work with this effect over here. Bit in here. Just a little bit. The color in here has to be extremely light. A little bit of white in here. Now, for me, in order to learn how to paint clouds, it took, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months for me practicing non-stop. Something that you have to take in account is that actually you are using an extremely small canvas in here, so sometimes it's kind of hard to get the details right. Sometimes it's not that easy to get them perfect, but with time and practice you would be able to do it. Please tell me, how do you find my channel? Is it somebody else that told you about it, perhaps, or maybe just randomly appear on YouTube? Are you interested in Magic the Gathering art or other forms of art? I love sculpting. I like to do it, but I'm not pretty good at it, I think. I'm way better painting. Do you like going to the cinema? Like, what kind of movies are that you enjoy the most? I usually like well, the most fantasy and science fiction, but I sometimes enjoy a pretty good drama, for example, or a comedy. I don't know. I like all kind of stuff, from very girly things to extremely bloody. I also like all kind of music. This is looking pretty good. Okay, I think that we're done with the sky. Just let me put some more details in the top, in the very top clouds, just a little bit. That will spread pretty good, the painting. And I think that's it. Okay, we're ready. Now let's go to the ground part. Let's finish the ground part. Okay. I think that I would use the number 0 brush for this, so we can have pretty thin lines. You will also need to use many tones at the same time. I mean, like, you paint a couple pieces of grass, and then you would have to grab some other tones in order to make it look good. You also have to remember to paint some light parts, some lighter parts, and some darker parts. You have to be extremely careful, because otherwise you will have pretty thick effects on the grass. Continue some more over here. Okay, let's continue. Let's make a little bit more. On this side. something pretty important. I don't think that I have mentioned this before. You have to be extremely careful on the way that you grab the painting, because otherwise you may ruin all of your work. You have to try not to touch the parts that you are actually painting, because otherwise it may stick on your fingers. For example, if I put in my finger in here for a little bit, I will pull out all of the painting in here. So you have to be a little bit careful. For example, you can grab here. You can grab here just for a little bit, and extremely careful. Not much, because otherwise, like I was telling you, you're going to ruin all of your work. Okay, I think that this may be good enough. Just let's give it a few more touches over here. Sometimes it's important to do this kind of work, this kind of effect. I don't know how to call it. I'm sorry. You just have to place some lights and darks here and there to make it look a little bit more realistic. Like whenever you see something, for example, when you're at the park, look at it. Not all of the ground has a perfect color, one united color. I mean, like you will be able to see some darker spots, some more clearer parts. I'm not pretty sure even if I am saying that right. I'm sorry. Okay, that looked pretty cool. Okay, and let's make over here some mana, some light effects on the trail of the giant. in here. Okay, this is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty. I think that some of that energy is going to be flowing over here. Some around. Coming out from his hand, his arm, maybe like being pulled by the wind or something like this. Okay, I think this is good enough. Alright, I will let it dry properly, then I will clean it, and finally we will sign it. Okay, just a moment. Okay, now I would clean the paint from the card, the excess paint, the paint that we don't want on it. What I will do is to grab my toothpick, put a little bit of water on the tip of it, and to have ready my paper towel. Okay, now remember, this process I have practiced for many years. It's easy for me, but when you are beginning, you have to be extremely careful, because otherwise, even when you have finished already, you are going to ruin completely your work. Okay, you have to do this extremely carefully. And remember, I suggest you to paint a couple of paintings which you would use in order to practice, and you would ruin them. So you can get this right. Very, very, very carefully. Remember, some water, and retrieve the excess, because otherwise you could also get the card wet, and you don't want that. Remember, whenever you are painting, let the paint dry, because otherwise you would get the card wet, and then if that happens, the card will start bending, just like this, for example. Whenever the card is wet, what it will do is something like this. or something like this, or it will do like this, or I don't know. It will do many things. Let me do something. I'm going to get this wet so you can see what happens when the cards get wet. I'm just gonna put it over here to see if it bends, and then I will show you. In the meantime, I will keep cleaning this. Sometimes it will happen that you pull a little bit too much paint. We can fix this, okay? You don't worry. I will show you how in a moment. I will continue. Here. The same with your paper towel. You have to be extremely careful whenever you are retrieving the paint, because otherwise you can pull out the paint of the card. Now, before I forget, okay, I will show you another couple things. Whenever your card gets too wet, it will actually absorb the water. I don't know if you can appreciate all this part. The card has been damaged already. Over here too. This is what happens when your card gets wet. So you have to be extremely careful whenever you use the paint and water. You have to keep the card dry at all times. Do you see all the damage? Okay, now another thing is, like I was telling you, if you apply too much strength on your card, this is what will happen. For example, I know this was a little bit too much on my part, but I just want you to see that you can actually damage the card. Okay? So remember, careful with this and with water. Keep the card dry. this is almost ready. We're going to fix just a couple things. One would be around here. Okay. And the other part is up there. Okay, this is good enough. Okay, now I would use some yellow in order to sign the card. That's the color that I like to use the most for signing because it serves as a base for the golden color that I'm going to use in a moment. Okay. I'm going to make it beautiful and clean here. Thinnest as you can. This is my rubric. But also, I'm going to sign it. You can choose whatever you like to do with your cards. We're about to finish. Now, this is the gold color that I use, reefs. I'm going to apply just a little bit. And I'm just preparing it so we can use it. You can also, well, I have seen people that uses golden leaf, but I don't know the proper use of that, so I won't be able to tell you about it. Just a touch. Gold. With these kind of colors, golden, silver, and copper, metallic version of these colors, you can do some interesting effects on cards when you mix them with some other colors. Okay, this is it. It looks pretty good. Okay, I liked pretty much the result for this. I also hope you liked it. Okay, remember, any doubt, that you had about the process, please let me know. I thank you very much and see you on the next one. Have an amazing one. Bye.